Welcome back, Chatty Zaddy.
Tasha K, my favorite time of the week is here. I get to spend some time with you and all the winos.
I'm glad I'm able to help take a load off. Feels like you're probably doing number 2, huh? Like, please.
It really is the best. It's therapeutic. It's therapeutic. That's what it is.
I love what I do. I know just to get here is the hard part. But once I'm here, I'm like, this is so amazing. This is therapy. So I love it too. And listen, we always love to have you here. The winos are loving to have you here. And actually, we got some clients that are loving you too. Anton K. Let me get my reading glasses. He has a nice little review for you. Anton lost his job and became overwhelmed with multiple unsecured debts, and he no longer can manage or repay. His financial stress continued to grow as collection pressure increased. Okay. Apparently he had $50,000 in SSA overpayment debt, $30,000 in credit card debt, and $40,000 in medical bills, with a $120,000 total of unsecured debt eliminated. He was chapter 7, Chad. Look at you.
So, yeah, chapter 7. And he was actually able to finance a vehicle because we got rid of all that debt and got a new vehicle so he can get around to his medical appointments. He can get to work. And what a lot of people don't realize, some government debt is dischargeable in bankruptcy. So Social Security overpayment can be discharged. And this was a strange case where he actually went to Social Security and he said, well, I'm working now and here's how much I'm making. I think you should pay me less. They said, no, you're getting, just keep collecting your Social Security. And then they came back years later and said, no, you were right. Give us 50 grand. So
no, you can't. The government can renege like that.
Hey,
Indian give us.
It's the government, man. They can do whatever they want. But the good news is, since he acted in good faith and he wasn't like running some scam, it was really just a mistake on the government side. It was discharged in bankruptcy, so that $50,000's gone. The credit card, $30,000 in credit card, the medical debt, all discharged. And Anton, I can tell you, is a different human being from the day we first met him.
My God, credit card debt. Let me ask you something. I think that the entire world has seen a decrease because of the tariffs in the United States. I don't think people understand like how the United States is like responsible for moving a lot of products globally. And so a lot of people depend on Americans, you know what I'm saying, in order to be able to make money in businesses. And so my business seen a 30% decrease in revenue. Thankfully, we're not in debt, but a lot of businesses got hit and they had to tap into credit cards to manage their bills and stuff like that because they couldn't get products in. Imports and exports were shut down. You know how it was doing. So are you seeing this year, this Christmas, are people spending less? And have you seen an increase in bankruptcies more than what you would normally see any given time of the year when the economy is stable?
Yeah, absolutely. Unfortunately, there's a lot of small business owners that have gotten hit, the tariffs and otherwise, and individuals aren't able to spend like they used to. So those small business owners are not getting the repeat customers that they're relying on. And like you said, they're putting things on credit cards, and these credit cards are 28, 29% interest rates, which are completely ridiculous. We got the Fed is cutting interest rates a little bit. There were 3 cuts, I believe, this year, and there's going to be more in the future, but that's not really doing anything to credit card interest rates. Maybe it'll help with the mortgage, but the credit cards are just killing individuals, killing small businesses. I'm hoping people can have a happy holidays and then start 2026 off by getting rid of all this debt, because it really is crushing the economy. It's crushing small businesses, and bankruptcies were up significant this year. We're estimating that they're going to go up another 15 to 20% next year as well.
Did you say 15 to 20% next year?
Yes, 15 to 20%. And that might be a conservative because if there's a recession or some other event, because as you know, there's always craziness going on in the world and in the United States. So if something significant happens, it could be much worse than that as well, because there is just way too much debt in the system right now. And people, I saw a stat, 77% of families are living paycheck to paycheck. That means if anything happens, if you get sick for a couple weeks,
You're
you're falling
done.
behind on your rent. Yeah, you're done. What are you going to do? It's a scary time. It is a scary financial time, and I know that everybody looks at the stock market, but guess what? A lot of people don't have money in the stock market. It's not really helping them.
I always see, and listen, my colleagues call me crazy. You crazy not to invest in the stock market? I'm like, it's gambling to me. I would
Yeah,
just rather hold my assets and call me, because I see the branding out here that real estate is not a way to build wealth. And every single person that I see that's building wealth, it's either in real estate or technology, or you just own a bank or a couple. So I'm
yeah.
like,
If you could own a bank, that's the way to go.
hmm,
Basically, you take in money and then you give it out at a 30% interest rate, and you pay 1 to 2% interest on it. I mean, it's a fantastic spread.
I know.
But obviously that's an insider's game, so you need to be an insider. So you need to be wealthy going into it and have the connections. So whenever you start the bank, I'll be one of the investors.
Okay,
Tasha,
I
okay.
appreciate that. I think you knew where I was going with that. Like, I appreciate that. Now, let me ask you something, because I think people need to know this, because, using credit cards now before Christmas, and then they call you to come file bankruptcy. How do credit card companies take that? Will they be able to get that discharged, or?
Yes, so if you file within a short period after using your credit card, there is a presumption of bad faith that you used that and you knew you weren't going to pay it back. Obviously, depending on the amount and depending on what you purchased, that's what's going to determine whether that creditor is really going to come after it and to try to make it non-dischargeable or not. If it's a small amount, if you're buying groceries, and you're really not sure that you're filing bankruptcy and you try to pay it back, generally speaking, you'll be okay. But if you go down the South Beach and go to some of the clubs there and get bottle service and then file bankruptcy next month, you're probably going to get a letter from American Express, Chase, whoever it is, that said, hey, this is clearly not non-dischargeable. Will you agree to make it non-dischargeable and work out a deal? So as soon as you determine that you're filing bankruptcy and you're done, stop paying, stop using the credit cards. That's the best way to go. Obviously, if you need food to feed your family, I mean, desperate times call for desperate measures. I can't give you legal advice to commit fraud, obviously, but people are going to take care of it.
It's argumentative. Like, okay, she was hungry.
Yeah,
She was hungry, Your Honor.
yeah. Like I don't think that there's going to be a judge that's if you're spent $50, $100 getting baby food at Publix or something like that. That's not really what they're looking for. They're looking for the bad actors. And remember, if you went out and you went to jewelry stores and you bought things, they're going to say, well, where are those assets? You got to turn those over as well. So if you're acquiring assets, they're going to say, where are those assets? Television, whatever. And the Chapter 7 trustee can take those assets and sell them.
That's good to know. I'm glad you brought that up, because I did have someone that a friend of mine mutually did business with, and he said the wildest thing. He said, he's been working his entire life. You know me, I'm a rumor mill, I'm a gossip mill, but this came straight from his mouth. He said, and I protect my credit. And right now I have American Express, and I have a car that's worth like 500,000, and I'm trying to get it to 1 million. And he says, and I'm going to take that card when I retire, and I'm going to buy me $1 million house out of the country and build it slowly, and then I'm going to leave the U.S. And never pay that bill. He said that with such confidence. I said, oh shit. I know in Paris personally, because it happened to a family member of mine. They had $20,000 in credit and AmEx bills, and they was gonna lock them up.
Yeah, I mean, committing fraud, especially on that level, you're going to get into a different level of AmEx and AmEx legal team and their AI and algorithms. I have a feeling that they're going to catch on and shut him down well in advance of that fraud moving forward.
Interpol has entered the chat.
Yeah. For $1 million, they're gonna find it. For $1 million, obviously, I've had some clients that they didn't commit fraud like that, but they said they were leaving the country anyway, and they ended up not filing bankruptcy. And you certainly can do that because it's rare that a creditor would get a judgment here and then go overseas and try to collect from your assets overseas.
Right.
But if you're committing fraud, and especially fraud on that level, I mean, that's criminal. There's civil fraud and there's criminal fraud. I would argue, especially because it's premeditated, that clearly is criminal. I'm not a criminal attorney though, so.
Yeah, AmEx, it's all alleged. Everything is alleged. Even my name is alleged. This is just what I heard. And I said, oh, that's different. Okay.
Yeah.
So, listen, AmEx just came after Ray J, a colleague of mine, for $150,000 in unpaid credit card fees.
Man, Ray J's got some things going on, man. I'm a little worried about your boy Ray J.
He pays his bill to me on time, so I ain't got no.
Man, but he says some wild. He says some wild things, and he does and makes some wild decisions.
Yes,
I loved his music back in the day, but
you liked his song back in the day.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but Brandy needs to talk to him though. They need to have some sort of intervention. Maybe, I don't know, but yeah, when AmEx comes after you, and AmEx is one of the companies that will sue you quick too. So don't mess around with AmEx because they'll sue you. They'll still make a deal with you, but there are other banks that will sell off the debt. They'll sell it to debt buyers, so they don't really have to go file the lawsuits and go through all the expense. But AmEx will definitely sue you, and especially if you're a higher profile person where they believe they can collect, they're going to bring the lawsuit, and then they'll start taking your assets, garnishing your wages. So don't mess with AmEx for sure.
They didn't bother me during my bankruptcy. They didn't even enter. I think they entered to just say yes, we affirm. And then they left. They didn't give me no issues. They know I'll be back though. I'm gonna spin the block. My credit score is actually a 756 right now, Chad. And I don't have anything. Of course, I have to wait till it's discharged to get more credit cards. But it's amazing at how well my credit score looks.
I love it. No, you're crushing it. So that's fantastic.
Well, I mean, everything got wiped out, so it claimed, and then Check got me as like added user, so them points and stuff like that, So it's clean right now. I'm like, damn.
That is a wonderful thing. I love it. And once you hit 750 and above, really, like you're an elite status. Any higher than that, it's really just for ego. But you might as well get to 800 now. You're already basically there.
We'll see. I think it's going to drop though, because I gotta get discharged in order to really, establish, more credit. So that's what I'm working on, the discharge. I really am. We're
going to get you there.
I know. I'm working on it. So listen, I saw this case come across my desk. The bankruptcy. First of all, let me talk to you about something. Now, I'm just going to throw some stuff at you and just kind of give me just your professional advice on this. So, 50 Cent has pissed a lot of people off out here with that Diddy documentary. Did you watch it? The Reckoning?
I watched it and I saw that, King Combs wants to fight him, which I don't know if
King Combs too skinny. Now he got to put some meat on his bones. He needs some insurance or something. The 50 just gonna sit on him and he's done. Right. Yeah. Right,
you gotta pick your battles. Man.
You sure do. So, but I did come across some information. It was in a law publication. It didn't hit the urban media, but I saw that 50 Cent was reopening did we talk about this? Reopening his bankruptcy case in Connecticut that he filed years ago, because there's a young woman who's coming after him for a personal injury claim.
Oh, wow.
Allegedly domestic violence. And the reason I'm saying this is because he told the court to seal her case, because if her case was to make it to the public, it would just ruin his credibility. He would lose brand deals. And so back in the day, 50 Cent was alleged by his baby mothers to set their houses on fire, to beat them up. This is all from them. He bought their life rights so they can't tell their story. He also said this, so I'm not just making this up. But the fact that a victim is coming to try to hit his insurance on a personal injury claim, and he's asking the bankruptcy court in Connecticut to say that this happened before my bankruptcy. So you guys, I should not have to pay this. It should be included in the bankruptcy. Do you understand where I'm going here? Is this legal? Can he do this?
Yeah, so this actually does happen. And any cause of action that was prior to the filing of the bankruptcy should be included in the bankruptcy. And that goes both ways. For somebody that's suing him or somebody that he could sue, all of that would be part of the bankruptcy. Now, the number one problem that they're going to have is, did they provide this party with notice? And if she received notice, she has an opportunity to file a claim and participate in the Chapter 11. So if she did get notice, knew about the bankruptcy, and did nothing and just waited years, she may have a real problem, because you're not allowed to do that. There's a doctrine called laches. Basically, if you just sit on your rights, you can't later come up and say, now I want to exercise my rights. There might be statute of limitations issues. There are a ton of issues. So if somebody files bankruptcy that potentially owes you money, or you have the right to sue, you need to go into the bankruptcy court and make your case. And if it goes through and the case gets confirmed and you didn't take part in it, you might forfeit all the rights that you have and all the money that's owed to you.
Wow. So what if she didn't know about the bankruptcy and this is something that she just decided? Because you know how victims don't necessarily go to the police right then. They don't necessarily file lawsuits right then. So as soon as she filed, as soon as he got notice, he went down to the court, asked them to seal it, saying this will ruin my reputation if it got out. And he immediately asked his lawyers to reopen his bankruptcy case to say, don't pay her. Yes.
So that's going to be the first battle is notice. Obviously, he's a celebrity. People know what's going on. She had a connection to him. So I would have to imagine she knew of the bankruptcy. But 50 Cent is going to have to prove that proper notice was given to her, that she knew. I assume that the judge is going to be very careful with this, because obviously it sounds like there's serious allegations. So stay tuned. I'm going to look into the pleadings, because I didn't hear about that. And
yes, I hear about it all.
And it does happen. And I've had a couple of cases where repossessions, like old repossessions, come back later, and they say, well, you still owe us money, or a broken lease or something like that. And usually that just gets resolved with, I send them the bankruptcy petition and they just go away. But obviously this is more serious. So you got to reopen the case and go through a whole process. So I'm definitely going to check this out.
Okay. I want you to stay tuned for that, because I thought that was, a lot of people could call that brilliant, but at the same time, it's kind of tricky, because like he playing in muddy waters right now. And it's like, how long are you going to play the pop-up game? If I were him, I would just come out and be like, you know what? I was that type of man. I'm no longer that type of man. I grew up in a culture like that, whereas it was okay at one point to hit women. But now as I'm getting older, like that was not okay. I think he could soften the blow if he were to come forward and say, you know, this is not right. But now it's looking like the pot's calling the kettle when it comes to Diddy. And it's like, y'all both dated the same women. Y'all both will accused of beating women. He was caught on camera. Your baby mama basically said you set her house on fire and things like that. Like that, it's just all messy all around. But listen, enough of him. Shilo Sanders. I've been keeping my eye on this guy, because I don't know if see, Deion Sanders has two sons, and I wasn't sure if it was this son or the other son, because it came across my desk that I guess maybe he had gotten into some trouble, like gotten into a fight in high school or something, and he had to pay somebody. But then I believe he filed bankruptcy, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep, filed Chapter 7 bankruptcy on an $11 million judgment. And this is, and
I would
to
have
be
too,
clear,
though. I would have too. Shit.
And to be clear, this is Shilo Sanders is the one that's not the quarterback. So I don't want to mix up the two.
Yeah, I don't believe football, so I don't want to mix the sons up. So yeah. So
his other son is a little more famous. He's a starting quarterback, but Shilo did play for Colorado, and his dad.
He did. And didn't Shilo, was he the one that got in trouble and punched somebody during the game, and then they ejected him?
That's it.
during the
So you know
draft.
your football, yeah.
Okay, I
Football,
know the
yeah,
gossip. Like it's the
yeah.
gossip that came across my desk because people send me this. So like, I think he was the one that the first round, like the first game, he punched somebody and then they immediately dropped him. And then I remember it was a big debate about it, and I was going to talk about it because I was going to bring in the bankruptcy portion because I was just like, yo, the reason the NFL is not playing this game with him is because of the $11 million judgment that he has against him for beating somebody up. I don't know the specifics behind that, but they're not going to risk him still being hot-headed and getting them sued because now they can rope in the NFL and Shilo if someone were to sue. So he has to have his emotions intact. But go ahead, tell us about that, Chad, please.
Yeah, so when you go into a chapter 7, it's very different than an 11 or a 13, a reorganization. There's an actual trustee that goes in and takes control of all of your assets, everything that you own as of the date of filing. And there was a deal, a name, image, and likeness deal, NIL deal for $250,000 that allegedly Shiloh entered into prior to filing bankruptcy.
Oh,
And then
shit.
and then the trustee found out about this and now is trying to take the $250,000 and use it for the estate and use it for the creditors. So you got to be really careful because if you're hiding assets, first off, that's an issue. So if you had this 250,000 coming in and you were trying to hide it, that's a real issue. Because money earned before filing usually belongs to the creditors. Money earned after filing, and this is very different than the 11s and 13s, is your money. So if basically tomorrow you file bankruptcy today, and then tomorrow you start working a new job, or tomorrow you buy that lottery ticket that hits, that would not go to the creditors. But anything from that bankruptcy filing date back is an asset of the state and then can be taken. So I think that 250,000, based on what I read, is going to go to the creditors.
So the $11 million judgment was non-dischargeable?
$11 million judgment is non-dischargeable because, again, it was from a fight. It was from a battery and a willful misconduct. So that would be non-dischargeable in bankruptcy.
That's insane. And the reason kids fight all the time, and I'm not saying what he did was right, but kids fight all the time. But I think because, of who his father is, that's probably why the family decided to pursue. It's a little easier to do that and get judgments and think that the father is going to pay. But Deion Sanders said, not me. I ain't got it. He got it. And then I believe the NFL would have been a good, way for him to take care of this, but hitting somebody on the first game and getting ejected, and now no team will pick you up. But people were up in arms and fired up about this, calling this racist and blaming it on his dad. And they have no idea that he has a history of this.
Yeah, and as you said, the NFL doesn't play, and you have to be like the top 0.0001% of athletes just to get to that point. And then on top of that, if you're not the best of the best, you're not going to get those extra opportunities. So he had his opportunity. Hopefully, he can rehab himself. He can get this behind him, and he gets another shot, because obviously just to be drafted or make it on a roster, you have to be extremely talented. And so hopefully he gets past this. I would recommend, and I'm sure they've tried, settling this as soon as possible. I'm not sure why they didn't do a reorganization, because it seems like, especially if the debt is truly non-dischargeable, a reorg probably would have been better, where you can put together a payment plan. You can take hopefully some of the emotion out of it, and then work on a deal, especially down the line. But going chapter 7 is extremely aggressive, especially with the fact pattern here. So.
So you don't like the fact that maybe this happened when he was a kid, and he just didn't have 11 million. They sued the kid. And I don't think it was able to transfer to Deion Sanders, because a lot of times in some states they do say the parents are negligent, but in this point, I don't think this was able to even touch Deion Sanders. So it was just between him and the kid. And I felt like this was not a second chance for him, but a good chance for him to move forward. But obviously, he likes to fight.
back in the day, I used to fight too. We used to all get off on the same bus stop just to fight each other.
Yep.
And my Garden City people know, like, there was like a lawn where we would just get to fight, and we did dumb things, and thank God there weren't cameras like there are today,
Yeah.
because there'd be some ridiculous video
Yeah.
out there. But you definitely got to be careful. I mean, I believe he's still in his early 20s, so he certainly can bounce back from this.
Absolutely.
This hopefully won't define his life, and he has a support system around him. Hopefully this gets resolved and everybody moves on from it. But I'm certainly glad that I didn't face any. Well, I didn't have any assets back then anyway. I just had a couple Jordans. And that's it. So nothing really to sue me for back in the day.
I know they could have got me on a lot of stuff. You know what I'm saying? They could have. Yeah. I got you. As far as what's happening after Christmas, are you guys prepared in your office to deal with what's going to happen after Christmas? A lot of people aren't even Christmas shopping this year. Black Friday was down 40%, is what I read.
Yeah, it's wild. We have hired so much this year. We have so many incredible people that absolutely, and we've extended our hours. So as how retail stores extend their hours during Christmas, we extend our hours in January, because January through May is usually our busiest time of the year, because people get through Christmas, they get to New Year's, they make their resolution, they meet with their accountants, financial advisors, they look at maybe all the spending that they did during the holiday season, and they say they got to do something about it. I'm just glad, because we have a platform like this that's getting the message out there that it's not something you need to be ashamed of. It's just something you need to take care of so that you can rebuild. You can get up to that 740, 750 credit score again, and not have all your money going toward interest, and truly have a great 2026.
Man, so as far as home buying is concerned, I'm seeing, is Tampa a good place now to buy a house? I heard foreclosure rates are through the roof. Do you believe? Because some people is a little superstitious. Don't buy no foreclosure. That's kind of bad, But then some people like, bitch, I'm going to scoop that right on up.
Yeah.
Is this good and bad for them? Yeah.
Yeah. So first off, be careful when you're buying foreclosure sales. Back in the day, I don't see it as much anymore. I would have a person a week buy a foreclosure from an HOA, and that still was subject to a first mortgage that they didn't know about. So they end up buying the HOA's right to it, and they didn't realize it still had a mortgage on it. And they would spend their life savings on this, and they would be crushed whenever I tell them, like, now the first mortgage is going to foreclose, so you got to make a deal with them or pay them. So just be super careful if you're purchasing foreclosure sales. Yes, foreclosures are up significantly in Tampa. I was in Tampa not too long ago for a bankruptcy conference, and actually Tampa kind of grew up. I haven't been there in a little while. They have some really nice places, nice restaurants.
Yeah.
It was my wife's first time there. We went to Burns, which was incredible. So Tampa's nice, but Tampa just got really expensive really fast. Yeah. So I think you're seeing a correction in the market up there. You can definitely find some deals, but if you are going to try to purchase a foreclosure property, make sure that you get a professional to help you with it. But there certainly are people that are looking to sell. So if you find a deal, move forward. Tampa's a beautiful place to live.
Yeah, it is very nice. I got some family that lives there, and their house is like in the hood, and it's almost worth $900,000. I said, they gentrifying. Well, sell. I said, no, wait to sell. Let yours be the last house on the block left. Okay, you may get $3-4 million just for the lot itself, because they're right next to the water. Yeah, it's a Latina and Black community, and they got cars parked on the grass in the front door. You know what I'm saying? Look, work trucks outside, 9 cars in front of the house, bulldogs outside. They got it all, and they are gentrified. And when I looked at, one of my cousins, he was like, "Man, this thing is worth $800." I said, "This is only a 3-bedroom house." I think it's the land. It's the land they want, and they can build up on those, So when you got a developer coming through there, just be the last to sell.
100%. Yeah, and that's going to be me in my office. I have this building here where there's towers going up all around me. I'm going to be that last person holding out.
How much you want? I mean, how much you got?
Right.
It ain't enough. Yeah, they are building like crazy here in Fort Lauderdale. Now, last but not least, I thought this was funny because iRobot was so big when it came out.
Man,
They're
this
filing for
one hurts.
bankruptcy already. What the is
This
going
one,
on? Is it Tesla? What is it?
it's just back in the day, the Roomba would get stuck in that corner and just keep hitting the wall over and over again. I think that AI killed iRobot. To be honest with you, I just think that they didn't upgrade fast enough, and there were so many other people coming to market. Like Samsung came together with something. Everybody started making different versions of the Roomba,
Mm-hmm.
and man, they had a $3.5 billion valuation, $3.5 billion valuation, and companies like Amazon and Amazon, man, they're killers. They see you making great deals and making money if you have your own shop on Amazon, and then they'll just copy it and they'll make their own. They'll make an Amazon version. Have you heard of this?
I haven't, but I'm not surprised. So they will basically private label your and resell it and cut you out of the deal and put you below
Correct.
Amazon.
And I've had some clients that's happened to where and of course the Amazon will put their little Prime label on theirs and make it better, so they start selling, then they undercut you, and then when they take out all the competition, then the price goes up. I mean, that's just what they can do. And they had $190 million worth of debt. Could you imagine having $190 million worth of debt?
It's less than what Alex Jones got, I guess. If I had to
Well,
compare, I don't know how he still ain't had
but
a heart attack yet.
but that's different because this is actually like borrowed debt. Alex Jones, obviously that was a judgment. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
this is actually money that they
Mm-hmm.
borrow, which is just crazy. So yeah, this one hurts because I mean they were so successful and everybody wanted a Roomba if you didn't have one. I thought they were cool. I never actually got one because they were always so expensive. But yeah, R.I.P. Roomba.
Crazy, 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 crazy. Now, as far as it's a lot going on. Like, Chad, I gotta do it like a permanent like finance show with you. So you can take callers and get your debt questions on. What do you say about doing something like that? Are you interested?
I love my favorite thing to do other than talking to you is talking to the people and talking
Okay.
about real issues that they're dealing with, because people think these are stupid questions or whatever it is, but these are real life things that people don't realize because we never were taught these in elementary school, middle school, high school, college. We're not taught how to deal with these issues. So you learn from your uncle, your mom, your dad, but they might be dumb with money too. You just don't know it.
Crazy. Crazy.
So I love it. I love it. I love it. I love talking to people. I would love to do live call-ins, Q&A, whatever you want to do. I'm here for it.
I love it. I love it. Well, listen, Chad, I'm glad that we have this information. There are so many people that are in my DM saying, thank you so much for introducing me to Chad, whether they use your service, or even reach out to a bankruptcy lawyer outside of you. Like that still makes us feel like, okay, people are getting it. And I don't understand, like the conversation still around bankruptcy. There's still like a level of failure or I'm embarrassed to do this. Do they still come in your office embarrassed about this?
Oh, oh, for sure. And again, the hardest thing to do for people is get to the point where they're making that phone call. And then I don't know what holds people back, if it's ego, if it's what they read online, but just make the phone call. It's really, really easy when it comes down to it. We have a step-by-step process. You follow the process, you get your discharge, you're debt free, and nobody really knows and nobody really cares. All they're gonna notice is you're living a better life, you're less stressed, and you're building your financial profile back up. And that's what people are going to see, that you're in a better spot. They're not going to, and then you're going to have some people that say, yeah, I'm in a better spot because I filed bankruptcy. And you're going to have people that preach that. But a lot of people, you'll just see that, wow, he's lost some weight. He's in better shape. His business is growing now. Like, what happened? And some people will honestly say, I filed bankruptcy, and that just opened my eyes up to everything and took all that pressure off me. And I see it every day. So that's the hardest thing is saying, admitting, look, I can't handle this myself. I have no plan to get out of debt. Let me make that phone call, talk to the professional, and let's figure out what the plan is to get out of debt. Because living a stressed life until you die and have a heart attack because of it is not a great plan on how to get out of debt. I mean, you will get out of debt when you die because they may collect against your estate, but you just should not have to live that stressed life. Bank of America, American Express will be okay without your 30%
They sure
interest.
will.
I promise you that.
They sure will. They sure will. Listen, I got to leave on a good note as well. Client success story from Santiago. Santiago is originally from Ecuador. Okay. He built a highly successful career early life, forming an investment bank and retiring at the age 35. After traveling internationally with his family, he settled in California, invested in real estate near San Francisco, and gained exposure in the Silicon Valley investment landscape. Okay. Now, the case type, he ended up filing Chapter 7. What happened with that case?
So say smart guy too. This is really like much smarter than I am. Obviously retiring at a young age, and just got into that San Francisco lifestyle, and everything is expensive in California. I don't know if you've been to California.
Oh my God. Gavin Newsom, what was his name? Gavin Newsom, the governor of California, is online arguing with Nicki Minaj. Argue. And sir, they can't put out fires there. They can't buy food. Your homeless people ain't got no roofs, and you online arguing with a rapper?
What are you doing? Like, Governor Newsom, stop. Like, leave Nicki alone. What are you doing?
He's like, is your husband under Megan's law? Yeah, but he's living in your state. So, I mean, Nicki blocked him so bad and said, listen, aren't you the governor that wants transgender kids' rights? Isn't that borderline kind of Billy a little bit? Like, and he has been on a tangent ever since. Because, she basically is aligned with MAGA. And, Governor Newsom is like, what? You in my state? Sir, you let your state burn down. You let your state burn down, sir. You and the mayors was out of town and it was on fire. Y'all didn't even have water in the fire hydrants, I heard.
Leave Nicki alone. Leave Nicki alone, bro. Man, oh I can't even believe it. Let me get back to my guy Santi real quick.
Yes, please. Sorry. When you said California, my mind got to go, and I'm like, yeah, that's the same state that burnt down, right? Yeah, under Gavin. Yeah. So anyway, go ahead,
Cynthia. Yes. Super smart guy, but yeah, the California, he was not expecting what he got in California. Got into some bad deals, at over $130,000 worth of unsecured debt that we were able to discharge in a Chapter 7, debt free. From what I understand, his entrepreneurial spirit's back, so he's starting up some companies, and none of that would have been possible without the bankruptcy code. And obviously that freed him up. And like I said, it's super smart guy. And this should go to tell people, like, filing bankruptcy is what really intelligent people do when they can't deal with their debt. Like, I think there's a stigma out there that like dumb, irresponsible people file bankruptcy. Really, really smart people file bankruptcy, and they do it all the time, and they use the law to their advantage. It's just like hiring a CPA. It's, for your taxes, to save money on taxes. Coming up with a financial strategy to become debt free. We did that for Santiago. Certainly can do that for you. So be careful if you're moving to California for many reasons. I'll just leave it at that. And leave Nicki alone.
Hide your kids from Governor Gavin Newsom. Hide your children. Listen, Chad, that's my words. The thoughts and the opinions of the host are not those of the guests here. Chad Van Horn Law Group. He is just here to simply just help people and, inform the people that are in need. Okay. So thank you so much, Chad. Is that it?
So good to see you. Thank you
Yes.
so. You're the best. You're the best.
Anytime. Top of the year, we're gonna start talking about you. Maybe you doing, I don't know, like we got to talk to Jasmine, a Thursday show or something, and or maybe she could come down and hire, train somebody from your team for y'all to log in and handle the financial part and double stream. So double stream on your channel and my channel, just to cross promote, just to get those viewers up. Yeah, because we need more people like you out here.
Let's make it happen.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, letsfixdebt.com, letsfixdebt.com, letsfixdebt.com. Chad Van Horn, you want him to email you, or are you okay with giving that? You don't want to give that out. It's too much.
No, they could email me, Chad, CHAD at cvhlawgroup.com. And letsfixdebt.com will get you on my calendar as well. So either way, we're going to get people debt free. We're going to make them debt free.
I love it. I love it. Thank you so much.